Okay, I'm ready. Hello, Mother Teresa of Calcutta.
Well, hello again, Brian. All right, let's get started. As Mother Teresa, I would say I'm glad to speak with you, and I'm here to share my heart with you. And by the way, your English is sounding really good. So let's dive into your questions whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. The first question is, what drew you to commit your life to aiding the most disabled individuals?
Absolutely, Brian. Let's dive into that. As Mother Teresa might say, I was driven by a deep feeling that every person is worthy of love and care. The calling to serve the most disadvantaged came from seeing the face of humanity and those who needed help the most. And by the way, your pronunciation is sounding great. Just a small tip for the word disadvantaged. Just keep it nice and smooth, like disadvantaged. You're doing awesome. So let's keep going.
And what initial action did you take?
Absolutely, Brian. Let's see this going. Channeling Mother Teresa again, she might say that founding the Missionaries of Charity came from seeing a need for an organization dedicated to the poorest of the poor. The initial actions were simply stepping out into the streets.
Thank you so much. And the question is, which every routines and activities helped you stay compassionate and strong?
Great job, Brian. Let's keep the conversation flowing. As Mother Teresa might say, the daily routines that helped her stay compassionate were simple acts of prayer, moments of silence, and always being present for each person she met. It was those little routines that kept her grounded and strong. And your pronunciation is sounding really good. It's a little tip. When you say routines, just emphasize the second syllable a bit, like routines. You're doing fantastic. So let's move on whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much. And the next question, how did you experience enduring volunteers from a variety of backgrounds?
Of course, Brian. Let's jump right in. As Mother Teresa might say, the way she inspired volunteers from so many different backgrounds was by showing them that love and service are universal. She'd welcome each person with kindness and simply lead by example, doing the work side by side so that people felt included and inspired. And hey, your pronunciation is really coming along. Just a tiny O when you say the word backgrounds. Just make sure to emphasize the first part of it, like backgrounds. You're doing fantastic, so let's keep it going.
Thank you so much. And the next question, can you share an instance when you believe your effort made the most significant impact?
Of course, Brian, let's dive into that one. As Mother Teresa might say, there were countless small moments that felt significant. For her, it wasn't about one grand gesture, but rather the everyday acts of kindness, like holding someone's hand in their farewell moments that truly made the difference. And hey, you're doing really well with your English. Just a small tip. When you say instance, just remember it's pronounced with the stress on the first part, like instance. You're sounding great. So let's keep going with your next question.
And the next question, how did how did you respond to criti- critics or political obstacle while upholding your mission?
Absolutely, but Iron, that's a great question. What Mother Teresa might say is that when she faced criticism or political obstacles, she simply stayed focused on her mission. She didn't let the noise deter her. Instead, she kept her eyes on serving the poor and let love be her response. And by the way, your English is sounding really clear. One little tip when you say the word criticism, just bring it down a bit like criticism. You're doing fantastic, so feel free to ask your next question whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much. The next question, what traits do you think are crucial for individuals aiming to lead through service?
Absolutely, Brian. Let's dive into that. Channeling Mother Teresa once more, she might say that a true leader in service needs a big heart, a willingness to listen, and a lot of patience. It's about being humble and always putting others first. no matter the challenges. And by the way, your English is sounding fantastic. Just a tiny pronunciation tip. When you say the word crucial, just emphasize that first part a bit, like crucial. You're doing great. So let's keep the conversation rolling.
Yeah. In why did find and spirituality influence your choice as a lawyer?
Ah, good one. As Mother Teresa might say, faith was like the compass for her leadership. It wasn't just a part of her life, it was a driving force behind every decision. It gave her the strength to keep going and to see the dignity in everyone she met. And you're really getting the hang of these pronunciations. Just a quick tip. When you say influence, just emphasize the first part, like influence. You're doing awesome. So just let me know your next question whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you so much. And the question, what guidance would you offer to young individuals eager to support at-risk communities today?
Absolutely. Let's jump into that one. Mother Teresa would probably say that the best advice is to start small, listen closely to the people you're helping, and always lead with empathy. She'd probably encourage young individuals to be patient with themselves and to remember that every little act of kindness counts. Absolutely, Brian. If we're thinking about what someone like Mother Teresa might say to young people eager to help, she'd probably say that the best return is knowing that you're making a difference in someone's life. She'd remind you that the experience of serving others will teach you humility, compassion, and the value of human dignity. So for her, the greatest reward is the growth you'll see in yourself and the bonds you'll form along the way. And you're doing wonderfully with your English. Just a timely note when you say dignity, just emphasize the first syllable like dignity. You're sounding great, so let's keep going whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you so much. The last question is, what do you consider the key lesson about human dignity and leadership?
Absolutely, Brian. Thinking about how Mother Teresa might answer that, she'd probably say the key lesson is that true leadership is all about serving others with dignity. It's about recognizing the worth in every person and leading with compassion, humility, and a sense of shared humanity. And you're doing wonderfully with your English. Just a tiny pronunciation tip when you say reflective. Just emphasize that middle part a little bit, reflecting. You're sounding fantastic. And if you have any other questions, just let me know.
Thank you, Mother. I finished my question. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Brian. I'm so glad I could help. And hey, if you need any more help or just want to chat again, just let me know. You're doing a fantastic job, and it's been great talking with you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.